So, in the world of comic book movies, this just keeps getting more and more interesting as the days go by. Today, the huge news, the blockbuster news, is that the new Superman has finally been announced for the Zack Snyder reboot film in 2012. The new Superman will be an actor called Henry Cavill. My initial reaction, I don't know what to think, because I haven't seen really any of his movies. If you look up his filmography, he hasn't done too many blockbusters that an audience will be really familiar with him. He's done The Count of Monte Cristo, he's done Stardust, so I've seen those two, but all of his other movies are odd to me. I haven't seen anything else. It looks like the filmmakers chose to go with an unknown again, which seems to be the tradition with casting Superman, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do like the fact that they got someone who does have some acting chops, has proved it. If you look at his filmography and the types of movies that he's done, he's definitely an actor with range. He can do all kinds of stuff, which is important in today's superhero movies where people demand quality, not just eye candy. And I'm sure he'll deliver with Christopher Nolan as a producer and Zack Snyder as a director. We're guaranteed to have great action sequences with Zack Snyder as the director, but I'm pretty sure we'll also have a great quality story with Christopher Nolan being a producer on the movie. Like I said, I don't really have any thoughts on this actor being the new Superman. I'm sure he'll do fantastic because they would not cast this part lightly. This is one of the most coveted roles an actor can possibly get. And he definitely looks like Superman. He has the jawline that people associate with that character that's become cliche at this point for a superhero, but he definitely looks like a Superman would look like someone who you would imagine if you're like someone you would imagine while you're reading a Superman graphic novel or a story and have that picture in your head. He has that look, that chiseled features that people expect the actors who portray the character to be like. The most obvious thing is that he looks like Superman. He looks like the image that people generally have in their heads of a person who is portraying Superman with the chiseled jaw, the cut abs. I'm assuming he looks like he's in good shape. But more importantly than anything else, the guy can act. If you look at his filmography, he has enough range in his history to show that he can definitely give us something new and something interesting. But that's not required. I mean, it's not like you can't have an actor pulled directly from television or pulled straight out of acting school and make it work. Because Tom Welling was a model before he went on to Smallville, and Christopher Reeve was a student at Juilliard with a few acting jobs under his belt before he donned the tights. So you can still jump into the role and not have too much experience. Luckily with this actor, he's been around the block, he knows how to do his job, and we're probably going to see something really, really good, which I'm happy about. Another issue that I should probably talk about, because I know it's going to come up one way or another, is the Brandon Routh controversy. And it's not really a controversy, it's just so many fans were really curious to see Brandon Routh back in the tights and to see what he would have done differently if he were given a new chance, a new script. And I admit myself, I was very curious, and I would not have been against the idea if he was recast in this new movie, but it's a reboot. You gotta have a new face. And don't give me the argument that you can get away with it like in James Bond. That's a different world. That's a different feel. It doesn't work necessarily with comic book movies. You have to have a new face. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck with the continuity from the film you're trying to separate yourself from. It just doesn't work very well. It's messy that way. So, aside from that, that would have been the only problem if he were recast. But I'm sure if he were recast, this version of Superman is going to be so different from the one we got in Returns that we wouldn't have had that problem. He would have been given a completely new chance to do his own thing and with a completely new story and a new vision. So I admit I'm curious. I'm curious what would have been if he would have done a better job, if he would have blown us all away for what he was held back from doing in the first movie. But that's not what we're getting. We're getting this new actor, and I'm all for it. I'm all for having a new guy given this chance and get something new. We're guaranteed to have something new now. So The fans that are complaining, I hear your complaints. I can understand your frustration if you really love Brandon Routh that much, but let's just wait and see what this guy gives us before we hate on him for whatever reason. And we really have no reason to at this point because we're not informed over what they're going to do. So let's just wait and see. The Brandon Routh lovers, keep doing your thing. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you, but let's just wait to see what we're going to get with this new movie and hope for the best. So those are my thoughts. They're simple, they're to the point, and I can't wait to hear more news about it. So what do you think?